Hey, what's up? This is boogiepanda, and as I promised, this is the review of the new event, Nations War, that came out with the new expansion, Sirens of War. So, let's just start with the positives. I think it's a really good initiative in that it's a new PvP event that kind of caters for everyone. I mean, by everyone, like, sure, it is gear based, basically. If you're in TT90, then you're gonna have a hard time in it because the spawn is limited to 5 times per territory per battle. But it like gets factions to work together because it's not faction versus faction or even just squad versus squad, it's nation versus nation. And of course, the nations are randomly assigned, whereas Theatres of Blood, the Thursday tournament, TW, all these things are very faction based and friend based, whereas this gets you to make new friends, I guess. Another thing I really like about it is like a PvP based way to farm for gear or coins or otherwise, whatever it is that you're farming for. Um, the thing with the MMOs, especially Asian MMOs, so like Korean, Chinese MMOs, there's too much kind of farming involved in it, which I just hate. This is why I kind of like first-person shooters a lot, because little to no PvE, whereas MMOs typically are mostly based in PvE with a lot of MMOs have PvP as a hindrance or just an addition. It doesn't really do anything good for your character, and Nations War really does boost your character by PvPing. So yeah, by providing such a high incentive for people to PvP, it encourages everyone to participate. I mean, just by going into the instance, I bet you can probably get a few dozen tokens. As I mentioned, it kind of tries to balance things out a little while still retaining teamwork. In that, if you go inside the well, I guess it's an instance. If you go inside Nations War with a squad, it will make sure that all of you ends up in the same nation, and I guess it tries to balance the number of rank 9 OP characters out a little, but I'm not quite sure how the mechanic works. And to me, my nation kind of got destroyed yesterday, so I'm not quite sure if the balance really does exist or we just suck while everyone else had great teamwork. But it seemed to me that, I don't know, maybe it's just me making up excuses for losing so badly, is that we lacked rank 9s for some reason, even though my squad was full of rank 9s that I went in with. But yeah, like when we were fighting against the Dark Nation, I think I saw 4 rank 9 archers against me, while we had like a rank 8 wizard and something. So yeah, I'm not quite sure about the balance mechanic, but I think it's trying to do the right thing, but I'm not quite sure if it's there yet. So yeah, moving on to the negatives, I have a few complaints. It's not server versus server as we were expecting. I mean, server wide is still nice, but server versus server would be a lot better in my opinion. I also don't like the fact that you can't see the opponent's names, but maybe that's just me, because I like to use every bit of information to my power, so any knowledge about their spiritual cultivation, whether they're demon or sage, what level of gear they're having, how good they are, it plays into the fact of how I play, and I found it pretty difficult not seeing the names above their heads as I was fighting them, because, like, just taking the example of archers again, I don't know if their stuns are 3-second stuns or 5-second stuns. With BMs, I don't know if their Heaven's Flames are 6-second Heaven Flames or 9-second Heaven Flames. So yeah, it just really messes with me, in my opinion, and I'm not sure how it goes for everyone else. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't. Maybe you like the fact it's anonymous, and you, well, anonymous in quotational marks, because you can just right click on the person and click whisper, or go through the T screen and see their names. But yeah, and in my opinion, it's also very chaotic for coordination. The land, if you see the map on the Chinese version, I believe uh, they're named on the map, but in PWI, the North American version, the lands aren't numbered or named on the map. But when you like click to go to a place, it says, "Do you want to go to say D6 or E4 or something?" But yeah, I wish there would be a patch next week or ASAP that would fix this problem of having lands on the kind of like either having numbers or names on hover over, or just have the numbers or names for the lands kind of on the map. So basically, like the TW map, you know which territory it is that you're attacking, because via squad chat or Ventrilo, it was hard to coordinate some sort of like defense when you got members trying to get to the territory that you're defending or attacking, and they don't know which it is because there's so many battles going on at the same time. Another problem is like a design flaw, that the landscape problems. I kite a lot, and I don't know what footage I'm going to use, but maybe you can see that when I holy path a few times, I get stuck in between trees, in the ground. It's just too many landscape problems, in my opinion. This is a weekly event. Well, it goes on twice in a week, I believe. It's Friday like Friday 2020 and Sunday 2020. So, yeah, I mean, for a bi-weekly event, they really, really need to sort it out ASAP, in my opinion. It just gets so annoying when you're like kiting with Holy Path, and then bam, you're stuck in between two trees, and then you get killed. Another thing is that it goes on for a little too long as well. I mean, it's all well and good having say 5 or 10 battles, but when you're in the same instance for 2 hours, it gets a bit repetitive. Maybe that's another personal preference, but I think 90 minutes or maybe 75 minutes will be a better time frame than 120 minutes that we're having at the moment. My last and biggest problem with this event is that I think the rewards are just too good. I mean, I know I mentioned that because the rewards are so good, they kind of encourage people to participate in the PvP event a bit more, but I think the rewards are just too good. I think they should tone down the I think they should tone down the rewards, or make say rapture crystals or uncanny crystals, whatever it is, like more like the Chinese rates. For those of you who don't know, the Chinese version have a lot higher coin rates to manufacture those things than the North American PWI, and I think the prices for our kind of like conversion from supply tokens to goods and materials is too low. I mean, I was on the losing nation, and with 7.5k personal contribution, I gained something like 130 tokens, and that roughly equated to 650 uncanny crystals. Converting the supply tokens to uncanny crystals cost me something like 2 mil coins, and even assuming they're worth 50k each, just 50k each, that's low. I mean, on RT, I think they're still worth about 100k each at the moment. That's still 30 mil, which means there's 28 mil profit. Well, taking away the charm cost, the apoth cost, I went through 2 silver charms, so that's roughly 3 mil in platinum charm terms. So yeah, I mean, it's still about 23 mil profit for 2 hours. And as I said, I was on the losing nation. I think the rewards are a little too good. They need, I don't know, I would have preferred it if they gave, say, temporary charms that you can use in Nations War for like very low cost or even free, and tone down the rewards a little more, so uncanny prices aren't like just dropping so fast, rapture prices aren't dropping ridiculously low, and basically destroying the whole PWI economy. That's it for my review. So basically, I think the initiative is really, really good. I really like it, but the execution, in my opinion, is pretty poor. It seems like they haven't done much beta testing in like before they pushed out the expansion, because after, like, even in my first round, If you saw the review, not review, the basic guide to Nations War, you could see I got stuck between the trees and in the terrain and stuff. It's just so annoying, and that was within the first 10-15 minutes. So yeah, I mean, I think PWI really needs to patch it out. Am I gonna participate again? To be honest, I don't find it as enjoyable as TW because the lack of communication, because of the existing problems already mentioned, takes away the teamwork element, in my personal opinion. But I think the rewards are just too good to pass on at the moment, which is why I think they need to tone it down. Not for my own personal benefit, but to stabilize the economy.